Okay, so this is a quadratic function, and I just want to show you the easiest method that you can use to find the coordinate of A and B and the maximum value of Y. And they have labeled this graph as y is equal to 5 minus 4x minus x squared. So the first thing that you do, you forget about this diagram. First, yeah, you get this equation. You say y is equal to 5 minus 4x minus x squared. Then you write it in a form of a quadratic equation, and the form of a quadratic equation is like this: ax squared plus bx plus ac. You write it in this form. So here what we are going to write, we are going to say this x squared will be here. We are going to say negative x squared, then we are going to write bx, it is negative 4x, and a c, a constant, it is a positive 5. So is equal to a 0. So this is a form of a quadratic equation. Once you have done this, you find the two values of x using any method you are comfortable with. As for me, I'll go with a completing square method. So here we have a challenge. We have a negative x squared. So we have to get rid of this negative here. So we are going just to say over a negative 1 over a negative 1, and here also over a negative 1. So we are going to have something like this: x squared, because this negative and this negative will cancel. So we are going to have positive x squared, then this and this will cancel as well, plus 4x. Then we are going to have a negative, because positive times positive into negative, it is negative. So we are going to have a negative 5 is equal to a 0. So using a completing square method, the first step that we are going to do is to make a constant close the equal sign. So we are going to have x squared plus 4x is equal to a positive 5, because after crossing the equal sign, the sign will change. It will be a positive 5. Then we get the half of this and square it and apply this side. So we are going to have x squared plus half of 4, it is a 2. Then you square this 2. Then you say is equal to 5 plus positive 2 and square it as well. So after that, we are going to put these in one blanket because they are both squared. So we are going to have open bracket x plus 2 close bracket squared. This and this are just one and the same thing. Then we are going to say is equal to this 2 multiplied by a 2, it is a 4. So we are going to have a 5 plus a 4. So this will just give us a 9. When we do 2 times 2, it is a 4. Then 4 plus 5, it is basically a 9. So we can just put 9 here is equal to a 9. Then to get rid of this power, we are going to say over, we are going to introduce square root. Even this side, we are also going to introduce a square root. Then we are going to have x plus a 2, because this is square root and this square root will cancel, is equal to, the answer that we are going to get will be either positive or negative 3, because the square root of 9, it is a 3. So here we are going to have x is equal to, if we make x the subject of the formula, we're going to have x is equal to, so these two will jump the equal sign, it will be a negative 2 plus a 3. The answer that we're going to get is a negative 1. And another answer that we're going to have will be x is equal to negative 2, then a negative 3. At first we used a positive 3, we have a 1, so we are going to get a negative sign, so we have a negative 3. So we are going to have a negative 5. Okay, so sorry, here we have made a mistake because a negative 2 on a number line, if you are at negative 2, when you go 3 steps, you will be at negative 1, positive 1, sorry. It will be a positive 1. So we have found that the values of x is equal to either a positive 1 or a negative 5. So you can see that on our number line, the negative part, it is this side, and the positive part, it is this side. So you can clearly see that a 1, you are going to see that, let me just... Okay, so according to our graph, this side is positive and this side is negative. So our 1 will be here. We are going to put them in brackets like this. So we have our 1, then comma, then this side we have a negative 5, comma. Remember, they have said the coordinates, so we have to put them in coordinates form. So the value, so this is x, and here there will be y. Same to here, this will be x, and here will be y. So this space is for the value of y. So the value of y, it is the point at which x-axis cut the y-axis cut the x-axis. So it is at 0. So here it will be 0, and here it will be 0. This is how you do it. So to find the maximum value of y, we are going to use the formula